The news platform since yesterday morning was abuzz with the controversial remark coming from the Indian Minister for Foreign Affairs, who made a claim saying that Gautam Buddha was what he said, a great Indian. Following stern objection from Nepal underlying that the issue was not a topic of discussion anymore, the Indian side corrected its statement by evening yesterday. Good morning, I am Amar Singh Pradhan and these are the headlines of the hour. The government flays the controversial statement made by the Indian Foreign Minister regarding the birthplace of Gautam Buddha. India corrects its claim. "380 new cases of COVID-19 reported yesterday, taking the tally to 22,972. Total of 948 active cases reported in the capital so far. Questions raised on government priority as COVID-19 scenario blowing out of proportions. The decision to resume flight services, long route services from 17th August withdrawn. And Atletico Madrid stuck with COVID-19 threat as two players test positives ahead of their Champions League quarterfinal clash. The Nepal government has expressed objection against the controversial statement made by Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar regarding the birthplace of Gautam Buddha. The government clarified that Nepal, being the birthplace of Gautam Buddha, was not a subject of discussion and debate anymore. Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar claimed that Buddha was a great Indian during a virtual conference held in the Indian capital, New Delhi, on Saturday evening. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, while responding to the controversial statement yesterday, stated that it is a well-established and undeniable fact proven by historical and archaeological evidences that Gautam Buddha was born in Lumbini, Nepal. The statement further said Lumbini, the birthplace of Buddha and the fountain of Buddhism, is one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The ministry recalled that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, during his visit to Nepal in 2014, while addressing the legislature parliament, had said Nepal is the country where Buddha, a symbol of peace and compassion in the world, was born. Meanwhile, the Indian government clarified yesterday evening, saying that there was no doubt that Gautam Buddha was born in Nepal. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs added that the statement from the Indian Foreign Minister was referred to the shared Buddhist heritage between Nepal and India. A spokesperson of the Indian Ministry of External Affairs, Anurag Srivastava, clarified that Buddhism was spread gradually from Nepal in the course of time. Nepal and India have not held any meetings to settle the border issues between the two countries since long. However, both the countries have started claiming that the birthplaces of cultural and religious personalities were in their respective countries. It might be more than a mere coincidence that Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar gave a controversial statement saying Gautam Buddha was born in India on the same day, on Saturday, when Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli reiterated that the birthplace of Lord Ram was in Nepal. We have more in this report.
Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli held a meeting with a team comprising the mayor of Madi municipality on Saturday and directed it to build a majestic temple of Lord Ram, reiterating that the real Ayodhya is in Chitwan. Earlier on 13th of July, Premier Oli, speaking at a program, had claimed that Lord Ram was born in Nepal and blamed India for intervening in Nepalese culture. Following huge criticism, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement on 14th of July clarifying that the Prime Minister's statement was not politically motivated and did not mean to hurt anyone's sentiment. However, the Prime Minister did not stop here. Instead, Prime Minister Oli directed officials from Madi municipality on Saturday to organize a big religious fair and establish huge idols of Ram, Sita and Lakshman in Ayodhya Puri of Chitwan. During a virtual conference held in the Indian capital New Delhi on Saturday, Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar claimed that Gautam Buddha was born in India.
Who are the two greatest Indians ever that you can remember? I would say one is Gautam Buddha and the other is Mahatma Gandhi. Not just greatest Indians that you and I as Indians remember, but greatest Indians that the world remembers. So I would suggest to you that actually there's an enormous force in moral leadership.
A few experts have opined that the recent controversial statement from the Indian Foreign Minister is a reaction to counter Prime Minister Oli's claim on Lord Ram and Ayodhya. However, some other experts have said that both the claims from Prime Minister Oli and Indian Foreign Minister Jai Shankar are misleading and casual. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has already responded to the recent controversial remarks from the Indian minister. At a time when the border issue between the two countries have not been settled yet, both the governments should focus on settling disputed issues diplomatically.
And moving on, Kathmandu district has once again reported the highest single-day spike of 90 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday, with 380 individuals testing positive for the virus in the country. This takes the total number of COVID-19 cases in Nepal to 22,972. The Kathmandu Valley has recorded a total of 1,134 cases of COVID-19 till date, among which 186 have registered full recovery. Meanwhile, there are now 948 active cases at the moment in the valley, with 790 cases in Kathmandu district alone. 73 new cases were recorded in Parsa district yesterday, 37 in Dhanusa, 28 in Morang, 21 in Bake and 17 in Kapilvastu districts. Speaking at the regular press briefing yesterday, spokesperson for the Health Ministry, Dr. Jageswar Gautam, informed that 8,515 sample tests were carried out through the PCR method in the past 24 hours, among which 380 tested positive for the virus. Meanwhile, 40 individuals registered full recovery yesterday and were discharged from various hospitals. This takes the total number of recoveries in the country to 16,353. Dr. Gautam further added that 6,544 individuals were in isolation, whereas 11,038 were in various quarantine centers in the country. Meanwhile, the death toll due to COVID-19 stands at 76, with 3 new deaths recorded since Saturday night. The spread of coronavirus is blowing out of proportions in Biratnagar, Birganj, Nepalganj and Kapilvastu, along with the federal capital, Kathmandu. The spread is equally alarming in other places of the country. However, due to their minimal capacity to accommodate patients, hospitals are facing shortage of beds, ICUs and health equipment for treatment. Moreover, the testing parameters have not been expanded as claimed by the government. There is almost a delusion on government's priority. Currently, there are 6,544 active cases of COVID-19 in the country, with the number constantly growing, while the country has only 1,700 ICUs and 770 ventilators. It needs no emphasizing while saying that the health authority needs to add the number of beds and ICUs with ventilators for COVID-19 patients in the country and to stock essential medical equipment and medicines. However, the government has not even given permission to import medicines used for critically ill COVID-19 patients. The Health Ministry, meanwhile, is not serious in procuring essential medical equipment that it had claimed to procure 2 months ago. Instead, the ministry is buying time, calling and suspending tenders repeatedly. The government, moreover, has not given priority in adding the number of beds in health institutions and isolation centers, despite the significant increase in the number of cases on a daily basis. The internal political dispute of the ruling Nepal Communist Party has also affected the government's performance in its fight against COVID-19. Leaders from the ruling party itself have criticized the government for inking the intra-party dispute with the coronavirus pandemic to fulfill vested interest. Experts have opined that the overall weak performance and trend of diverting the issue has attributed to the current mismanagement. The government's inadequate preparations to control the spread of coronavirus and its priority given to other issues instead of health has affected the overall mechanism in controlling the pandemic. The government has stepped back from its decision made earlier to resume flight services, long route services and permit admission of grade 11 students from 17th of August. The COVID-19 Crisis Management Center, or CCMC, has pushed the date of reopening these sectors from 1st of September following the increase in number of COVID-19 cases in the community level. Tourism Minister Yogesh Bhattarai informed that the CCMC meeting held yesterday evening at the administrative hub Singhadarbar decided to further halt domestic and international flight services, long route transport services, educational institutions and sports activities until 31st of August. The cabinet meeting held on 20th of July had decided to lift the nationwide lockdown and resume regular flight services from 17th of August. Following the decision, flight service companies had already opened ticket bookings.